proportion to express both its female and masculine aspects. But because the Caucasoid consciousness cannot see duality appropriately, because he cannot see himself on another plane, he can only see something. He has no idea of what nothing is. Only we have that concept for nothing. Nothing is all inside of our story. See? In fact, nothing is two. See, to understand nothing, you got to begin with two. Two is the only prime number. Here's some numeric metaphysics. Two is the only even prime number in the universe. And that's why it's the first letter in the Bible. It is the very first. Because it says in to describe nothing. It says in as the final word. The connotation for that letter Beth, right, is inside. The remaining of the letters in the first 6 letters in the Hebrew Bible is Rashid. The connotation is in beginning, created everything else. See? In beginning, Rashid. Rashid is the name of the true Chaldean Hebraic metaphysical God that they have now named different things. See, Elohim is this. That's some secondary aspect of what Rashid entails. What does Rashid equal numerically? 911. 911. In 911, create heaven and earth. See? The first duplicity was created by that numeric equivalency. You in New York today, New York became the whole world on 9/11. The whole world became New York on 9/11, and it's still that way. Because in 9/11, Bereshit, how do we now all share the same language? It's called fear.
Our collective fear.
The collective fear. We all speak the language that if you don't do this, I'm going to kick your ass. That's the language everybody know. You can say it in Chinese, Japanese, Ukrainian, Swahili, Arabic, whatever. Crook and flail, guidance and discipline mean the same thing everywhere. Right? But now who is administering to us? Now the fiction is they got it where they trying to make a line of descent from the Egypt to Britain, saying that the British kings is related to the Egyptians. And then they got the spy, David Icke, who pimped this brother. What's up? Credo.
Yeah.
I bought this book
Credo got the
in Manhattan on the street. Songs of the Stars.
Let me zoom in on that joint.
You might be able to get it online. Station Hill Openings, Barrontown Limited. Station Hill Openings, Barrontown Limited Publishing. Credo Mutwa. Song of the Stars, the Lord of a Zulu Shaman. Now, everybody know that all that clown Ike talks about is reptilian. All that stuff comes from essentially the lore of the Zulu and all the other Africans who had Mars, who had reptiles and all that in their cosmology, in their mythos. Every time you hear them talk about a serpent inside of the mythos, they talking about DNA's ability. All those stories about snakes is about DNA's ability to exist beyond your present mode of perception. And that throughout the aeons of time, DNA chooses new forms to accommodate and make itself. In tandem with melanin, DNA chooses to be whatever it wants, or melanin, I should say, chooses to be whatever it wants, whenever it feels like. Sure. In this epoch, Melanin is choosing to be an ignorant motherfucker. That's what it want to be. So what? And to show you how deep it is, the cracker is even trying to be an ignorant motherfucker to get into your spiritual energy of ignorance, which is a dark place that he really can't fuck with. Every place he go that's dark, he make it fearful. We immerse ourselves in the darkness. We in a constant quote-unquote nightmare in retrospect to his idea of what it is to be in a nightmare type of situation. You feel me? So now, what happens is very interesting. Credo Mutwa has, and I saw in an Ike book, he had a picture of a bracelet, right? And on the bracelet, it was like them Juicy Couture bracelets that the sisters is wearing now. They get the bracelet and then for a few dollars more, like $80, $90, they could put little trinkets on each joint, right? This is Zulu shaman bracelet. Shit, we biting off our shit. We keep doing what we've been doing. You understand what I'm saying? We be doing in our ignorance what we've been doing in our high civilization and don't even know it, because the true story is about the reptilian, and the reptilian is the DNA. You can't tell DNA what to do. It does what it feels like doing in accordance to certain timelines, certain demands in the culture, right? In Kemet, women was affixing wigs and putting stuff on their hair. Why? They were doing it to protect themselves. Because of the high radiation. They also used to use makeup. Sisters doing it today, thinking, and we thinking and assessing it because of, we think it's cultural pressure. See, even when we think that we're doing something because of something else, it be divine mandate, because the universal mind far exceeds the understanding, right, of a material mundane knowledge.
Oh, shit. Material
mundane knowledge, not tinctured or filtered through metaphysics, is nothing. It makes no sense. If it's not transforming like DNA, and we're not creating breakthroughs, and niggas is still talking about the shit the niggas were talking about 25, 30 years ago, to no avail, we not going nowhere. Nowhere. I want to challenge brothers out there to start, even if you ain't got to be deep into no metaphysics or nothing, or be a good public speaker, put your work in another place. If you know how to write, you guys that's writing the nigger books, all that in a bag of chips and shoot them up, bang, bang. Start interspersing inside them stories some astronomical, phenomenal niggas. Start making it, start creating alternate universes where we can occupy where the white boy can't come. I challenge you to start writing books where ain't no crackers in the whole book.
That's it.
Start making a world where they don't even exist. That is just one race and it's just us. Then you create, metaphysically, you create an alternate universe that we can occupy. We're all fucking occupying the Torah. The whole story, they've tricked everybody to live in this goddamn book. Your UCC is off this book. How you slaughter meat is in this book. Everything you do is in this book. Everybody want to make a new religion. You want to be a Muslim? Okay, all the prophets is in this book. Name something that ain't in the book. Name something you ain't create. But you was able to tell a whole story. This is the phenomena using 22 sounds. And what does 22 metaphysically have to do with sound? 22 over 7 is the irrational form of pi. Sure. We speak in a circuitous language. 314 is the three initial numbers of the pi equation. And biblically, the pi is 3. You can figure that out in the Book of Kings. Go into the Book of Kings and look at the dimensions of anything cylindrical inside of the temple. They always use 3 to give you all the answers. And 3 is their pi point. 3. Right? Then they put God's name inside the edifice. Hiding it in the number 1500, but you got to divide it by 4 to get Solomon's name. This is what they used to, Sargon and them used to do in Sumer. They used to make temples. The temple name the name of the ruling king would be rooted in the architecture of the temple, right? So whenever you go into church, right, or a synagogue, you going into a masjid. Specifically, when you go into a church, you're going into a masjid. Christians couldn't even think of the math nor the intellect to sit down and make a church. They had to import the science from the builders, the Moors, you and I. We had a language of mathematics that resonated in the geometrically in the world at large, external to us, right? So we was able to recapitulate what we were speaking and what we were feeling into physical artifices using the same mathematics. They had